I say that, but it's easily done on this slick equipment. You know, you can overdraw so easily. You really need a good touch and to keep your finesse under pressure. That's a very important thing. Good effort. Is he going to get lucky behind the 7? Looks like to me Daniel's got a path there. It's tight.
What a reprieve for the Italian. Scratching off the break. Beato with a chance to get to the hill, and then he makes the big positional error. And whatever Corriere has here in terms of a path through to the 4, at the very least he has the chance to play the next shot, which I'm sure he would have gladly accepted a few moments ago.
Yeah, according to his body language, I do believe he can make this 4-ball.
So we'll just see this shot and then we'll go to our main match.
Or maybe not. Yes, he could. Yes.
Oh, wow. Could he ever? Blasted that one in nicely on the purple 5. Chance to draw level, and we will, of course, keep you right up to date with this one, because this could be a very significant story. Meanwhile, we're going back to the main table for this match between Seo Seoa and Cheng. Seo Seoa, quite new on the international stage, one of the top players in the ladies' game, but Cheng, someone who's been around, well, forever it seems, Imran.
Yeah, when I first started playing pool in the early 2000s, I think 2004 or 5, he was there just winning all the tournaments, collecting his silverware and picking up the big checks. He was at his peak then. So to see him still batting after all these years, it's a good thing to see, actually.
I'm going to ask you a question now, and I'll be really impressed if you get this right. I like hitting Jeremy and Carl with these from time to time. And you've been such a part of the team already this week, I've got to introduce it to you. What has Cheng done that no other player has done in 9-ball history?
Good question. And I would say runner-up in the World Championship 2 consecutive years.
Well, you're very, very close. I'm very impressed with that. So basically, he's the only player who's been in the final of the World Championship more than once, but hasn't won it.
Okay.
Shane Van Bonen, of course, was in that category, but he moved out of it in 2022. So very close, Imran. Very good. You're becoming a bona fide member of the commentary team now.
And how can we leave Soa out? What a great talent, and what a player. I mean, she came out of nowhere. I saw her beat Tony Drago in the European Open last year, and what a performance that was.
Yeah, huge age gap. Cheng, 46 years of age, but Seo Seoa is still only 21. Now, she's not the fastest of players, but it's not a case of delaying or taking a long time over choosing shots, so much as she has a very, very deliberate technique, a routine that she goes through and repeats that over and over again.
And that's what makes her so solid. Yeah, she doesn't shoot a ball until she's absolutely ready to play it. And that goes a long way. You don't want to be 80% or 90% sure of a shot. You want to be 100% sure before you get down and play a shot. It's going to have to go airborne. Probably wants to catch it thin and bring the cue ball back down this end. Get some separation. Doesn't want to hit it too thick because the corner pocket is looming. Yeah, he got it very thin indeed. Too thin. And the cue ball hits the 8 and leaves a shot. Let's see, get a chance to watch Seo Seoa, the first shot of the match.
Yeah, she's from South Korea. You can almost see her brain whirring away there, as you said. It's like she assesses her options and the pool computer in her brain decides which one, and then it's down to go through the routine, through the technique.
Well, I believe she's in good company as well, as far as her practice is concerned, because she trains with Robbie Capito and Aloysius Yap. So 2 great players to practice with.
Well, Robbie Capito was actually the man who sent Kopo Cheng over to the loser's side with a 9-4 win. Cheng had won a match prior to that against the British player Kevin Simpson.
I like that, showing some patience. She could have gone for the 3, thin cut, but she played a safety, trying to get ball in hand. She knows the power of ball in hand. Especially on this equipment, ball in hand is so massive. That's a nice kick shot. A little bit unlucky, it's leaked out.
Explain, if you would, Imran, why you're saying that, why it is that you think ball in hand is particularly significant with this equipment.
Well, because the tightness of the equipment, yeah. So, some shots you just cannot play, whereas you could on a bigger pocket 9-ball table. Some shots you just have to refuse and play safety. Because of the tightness of the pockets. Yeah, that's the reason why, and as you know, most 9-ball connoisseurs know that safety is just as important as running out, and more so on the tighter equipment. So you see a lot of players run 4 or 5 balls, play a safety, get ball in hand, and then run the rest of the rack out.
So Soa has a chance to run out this opening rack here. Lost her first match to Ko Ping Han, the youngest of the 3 Ko brothers, who was close for a lot of the way, and then Ko finished strongly. So she's already played a match on the loser's side. If you lose your first match in this format, you've got to win 4 matches on the loser's side. It's a long, long slog to get there, but she's come through her first test without actually losing a rack against the British player Paul Taylor. So 2 more wins will be required after this to make that final 64 for whoever comes through. And the loser of this match will then be out after their second defeat.
Yeah, she was actually in my section of the draw. If I lost to Paul Taylor, I would have played Seo Seoa, which would have been a nice experience. Very deliberate, as we can see, follows her routine. It's got the same amount of warm-up strokes every time, almost like a robot.
Yeah, and doing that, I guess you've got to have a huge well of concentration, because it takes a lot of effort to win a rack and then to keep that going long enough to win a match. You've got to have fantastic concentration to play this way.
Yeah, all top players have a routine, and it's a given. You have to have a routine. There's a saying, why go to war without a weapon? You know, and that's a weapon, having a pre-shot routine. It's something to fall back on when things are not going well.
You can really see her going through the motions of it every time. And it looks as though she's going to win this opening rack.
I do find that most of the lady players are a bit more disciplined, I find, than the men. I don't know why that is.
So she leads 1-0. In what way disciplined?
In the way that they're more measured and take their time a little bit more. They look at their routine a little bit more. Just a bit more calculation required. I don't know if that's I don't know if it's in the genes or whatever, but I do find that watching the women, they're more robot-esque than the men.
So Soa 1-0 up. News of a result from that hill finish on table 21. Georgi Georgiev, the Bulgarian, did have a good lead against Emil Andre Gangflo. The Norwegian came back and levelled it, but Georgiev has won the deciding rack. He prevails 9-8, and what a task for him now. He takes on 2-time world champion Albin Ocean in winners' qualification. Not sure what all this is about. So the referee walking away with Po Cheng's jacket. What on earth was going on there? Referees in the early stages are assigned to a group of 4 tables at a time. So it really is quite a task to stay on top of it all. We'll be down to 1 referee per table once we get to the weekend phase.
Yeah, imagine doing that for 8 hours a day, Mike. How would your back be?
Well, I was talking earlier to Ben Taylor-Fuente, who's one of the referees, and I was actually a bit surprised. He sat down next to me to have some lunch, and I was amazed to see that the refs get any sort of a break at all. He said, oh, it's just basically 20 minutes, long enough to eat, because I guess they got to do that. But other than that, they really are on the go from first ball to last throughout the day with a huge amount to do. 1-0 to Seo Seoa. Our first look at her break.
Did hit the rack quite nicely, but unfortunately no ball. Now it looks like Koa does have a shot on this one, can jack up and stop his rock right there, maybe play the 2 in the side. It's a little touchy, this one. Got to be careful not to foul. Does it get to the pocket? No. Yeah, I told you it was touchy. It was a tougher shot than it looked, actually.
Yeah, you don't often see players at this level leave a ball short of the pocket, but if it was ever going to happen, that was exactly the sort of shot where it may have been likely. And now, ball in hand, simple one to start.
I think his cue was elevated at about 30 degrees there. If he elevated a little bit more, I think he would have got the correct action on the cue ball.
I think that's the sort of thing that average club players actually enjoy watching, because I think anyone at any level feels a bit embarrassed when a shot turns out like that. When they see someone of his experience doing it, makes them feel a little better about themselves.
Yeah, harder shot than it looked, that was.
Absolutely.
Quite an acute angle for this 2-ball in the side. They are very tight pockets from this angle, so she's got to hit this nicely. Oh, she's elected to play safe. Is the 8-ball in? Yes, it is.
Well, I'm not sure she wanted that, though. Look where she is now, glued to that 6.
And she would have had her opponent in jail if the 8-ball didn't drop. Got to say that's very unlucky. This is a tough one to hit.
Yeah, and just look where they are. If she gives ball in hand back to him, it's going to be a very good chance to level. So, bit of pressure on this.
But the amount of times we say that, Mike, and they mess up the run out.
Yeah.
We always say easy rack, but it's never
easy.
Not
just
easy.
Have a chance.
Yeah, a chance. Yeah. But it's amazing how many times people mess up a chance. Unlucky. Wasn't easy.
Yeah, she'll feel she's not really done a great deal wrong there, in the sense that it was almost impossible really to get on the 2 and make that a straightforward shot. And then she actually played a good shot to follow it, was unlucky that the ball went in the side pocket and found herself in such a tough hook.
Yeah, there was no way she could legislate the 2-ball hitting the 8-ball and the 8-ball dropping. There's no way she could have even had that in mind, so it's just unfortunate. And this Po Chang, going back to his World Championship, I think it was the last one where he played. What's his name? Who won it?
What, the second time he was in the final?
Yeah.
Bustamante.
Oh, was it Bustamante? No, the first time.
Well, the first time was against Cheng.
Cheng,
and he was on the brink of winning it.
Yeah, he was way up.
Had that big finish.
Yeah, he won 4 racks in a row or something, yeah. Oh, the second one was against Bustamante, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first of the Doha decade, as we might call it, 2010, 5 years after the defeat to Wu, who was only 16 at the time.
And Bustamante would have been in that bracket if he didn't win his second one, because he was in the final against Earl Strickland, where he lost his first one in Cardiff. I remember, I was there.
I get you, yeah.
I was there, yeah.
What, the bracket of players who've been in the final more than once and not won it? Yes. Yeah. See, you're really thinking like a commentator now, coming up with your own stats.
Nice cue ball, perfect speed. Can play this 2 rails to let your stroke go a bit, give you a bit of freedom on the shot. Just past the side pocket, I would have thought. Yeah, past the side pocket. He's overdone it a little bit, but shouldn't be a problem.
So Soa might feel a little hard done by with how this rack has played out, but Cheng has taken his chance efficiently. And as a result, draws level. Early stages of this. Remember, it's just race to 8 in this match in losers round 2. We've been watching races to 9 ever since the start. Still at a very early stage of this one. Billy Thorpe still looking for one more against Masato Yoshioka, the American leading there 8-5. Another American going very well, Tyler Steyer 6-2 up on Welshman Marcel Price. Aloysius Yap is 3-1 up on Christian Serdeo. All these matches in round 2 on the winner's side. 7-all between the in-form Lithuanian Piers Labutas and Radoslav Babica, the long-established Polish player. Quang Nam Pham of Vietnam, who had some eyebrow-raising results on the tour last year, is 6-5 up on Finland's Jani Uski. And Moritz Neuhausen is now on the hill. 8-3 lead over Kostas Koukiadakis of Greece. John Mara just ahead of Poland's Daniel Maciol. The Canadian leads 6-5. 1-all here.
Very nice break. That's almost textbook. Cue ball central, makes 2 balls. Lovely shot. Unfortunately...
Did you play him at any point over the years, Imran? Cheng?
I've never played him, no, never played him. It's a bit unlucky that the 6 balls come and sport the party. He might have to play a bank shot on the 4. That's what he's having a look at now. Yeah, I can't see him playing any other shot. He's going to bank the 4 into the side pocket, stop his rock, and then play a 5-7 combination. It looks like he's playing something else. Is he going forward? Okay. It was a bit dangerous because you never know what's going to happen when you're careering into other balls. A lot of players would have opted for the bank there. Would have been a straightforward bank into the side pocket. Maybe he missed a trick there. That's a lovely shot. That just goes to show his experience there, playing a shot like that. Very simple, very effective. But he saw his blockers and he found the right shot to get behind his blockers. That comes with experience. You can't just make those up.
She came to wide attention in early 2023 when she beat the defending champion Kelly Fisher, no less, in the quarterfinals of the Women's World Championship in Atlantic City, and looked to be closing in on a place in the final when she led Chu Chi-Yu 6-2. It was just a misjudged safety that turned that one round. Chu ended up winning the match 9-7 and went on to claim the title, beating Alison Fisher in the final.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's a future world champion. Overpowered that cue ball because she had to jump over 2 balls there. Losing the cue ball. See the 8 and the 9. Had to go over both of them, so she needed extra power, but a little bit too much. It's very important to calibrate your speed on a jump shot. You should always have your speed in mind before you get down to play it. So many players overhit jump shots.
Talking about Cheng and all his achievements and World Championship runs many years ago. But we have seen him more recently get some results. He made single elimination at the Hanoi Open back in October, and indeed the week before that, in a very strong field in another world ranking event, the Perry Open, he got to the quarterfinals.
And that would have been a strong field as well, the Perry Open. All the top players were there.
Well, that's it. It was literally immediately before the Hanoi Open itself, so they were all there. So once again, Cheng given ball in hand. Still work to be done, just as he did in rack 2. It looks as though he's going to complete the task. And so, having trailed 1-0, he's now won back-to-back racks, and Cheng leads for the first time at 2-1.
He's got quite a lot of grey hair for a 40-year-old.
Well, 46.
46, oh, right. Yeah, late 40s, yeah.
You don't seem to have, I'm just looking now, you don't seem to have a single grey hair at all, and you're in your 50s.
I'm 51,
What's your secret, Imran?
Nothing. I don't do anything to my hair. It's just naturally like that. Head and shoulders.
Billy Thorpe still looking for one more against Masato Yoshioka. He's leading 8-6. Piers Labutis and Radislav Babica level at 7-all. These all on the winner's side. Pongnam Pham 6-5 up on Jani Uski. Moritz Neuhausen has got the job done, 9-3. The likeable young German has defeated Kostas Koukiadakis of Greece. John Mora now 1 ahead of Daniel Maciol at 6-5. And just starting, Dimitris Lukatos, another Greek player, has won the opener against the British player Jack Whelan. Winner of that will take on the US Mosconi Cup captain Skylar Woodward in winners qualification. Back to the loser's side, 2-1 Cheng.
Ooh, straight in the side. We saw that in the last match. You see the cue ball hitting just before the middle diamond there. That's why it went straight into the side pocket.
And just referring back to that match you were talking about, Carlo Biado came strong in the end and saw off the challenge of Daniel Corriere. Biado a 9-6 winner, and will face either Jani Uski or Pongnam Pham in winners qualification. Yeah, we saw Seo Seoa playing in the Premier League in Leicester just over a year ago, early 2023. She lost her first 3 matches, but then beat Konrad Yasusin, who actually was playing very well and did very well in that tournament. Now, after 8 matches, he played 15 in the first phase, that was still her only win. But in the 7 remaining matches she had, she actually won 3 of them, and they were all against former Mosconi MVPs, Albin Ocean, Chris Melling, and the legendary Earl Strickland.
Wow.
So she won 4 of her 15 matches and finished 14th in a field of 16. That, however, was over a year ago. Back in the present day, she's missed a good chance there.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere, really. I didn't expect her to miss the 3 ball. She was concentrating on position, it looked like. Oh, that's right. She beat Earl Strickland, and Earl didn't shake her hand or something like that.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the exact circumstances were. I think it was all quite friendly and got blown up out of proportion. There was something more to it than that.
Okay.
But there was no animosity or anything.
No.
Not like Earl.
Yeah, perfect cue ball, as we can see from Ko. Goes about his work just nicely, calmly, smoothly around the table. His cue ball's always in line, so he's always using the same kind of stroke, the speed of his stroke. It's number 4 speed or 5 speed. And yeah, just makes it look easy. I say that, and he's wrong side of the 7, but there's no traffic down table.
So Ko scratched from the break. It was a big chance, really, for Seo Seoa to get some rhythm going and level the match. But she had an unexpected miss. And once again, Cheng has taken full advantage. 3 racks in a row for him now, and he leads 3-1. Just talking about age as we were, Imran, you look at your results over the last year or so. Do you think if someone had told you 15, 20 years ago that you'd still be as good a player as this in your 50s, you would have been surprised?
I would have took that, yeah, definitely.
But would you have thought it was likely that you'd still be going at this level after all these years?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I did think it was likely because I see some of the top snooker players, and snooker is much more physically demanding, would I say, or you need maybe a bit more concentration because they're tighter pockets.
And longer matches as well.
Longer matches, and you look at the class of 92, Williams, Higgins, Ronnie, they're, you know, coming up to their 50s and at the top of their game. They're dominating on the world stage, so there's no substitute for experience in this game.
But it always looks to me like you're someone who's looked after himself well over the years, and that's probably a factor in why you're still doing so well at this age.
Well, I'm a bit of a fatty.
I think you look in pretty good health.
I'm okay. I'm slightly overweight, but I do my swimming. I eat okay. I think it comes down to the work ethic. I do put in a lot of practice in.
By the way, if you're not familiar with what Imran looks like, his description of himself as a bit of a fatty, I think he's been extremely harsh there. Anyway, good to see you still playing so well in your 50s.
Thank you, and I think I'm improving. You have to be a student of the game to improve at this at pool, and that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to educate myself as much as I can over the last 5 or 6 years, and I've seen some improvement. Okay, we're going to see a jump shot by Soa. If she makes the 2, she's going to have to be a little bit lucky to get on the 3. Probably going to have to draw it a little bit to have a look at the 3. Because there's no point going for this jump if she's going to be hooked next shot. Oh, very nearly scratched there. She would have been hooked anyway, so I would have maybe looked at a kick here. There was possible kick shots available. And he's missed the 2 ball completely. Easily done when you're playing it with a little bit of spin, especially on the new cloths. It can make you look stupid, but trust me, we've all done it 1,000 times. Now, this is a good chance for Soa to get back into this match. I like the time she's taking, working out this run out. It's not easy. She needs to find that window between the 7 and 9 to get to the 5 ball. So 2 to the 3, make sure you get a nice angle on the 4 ball to find that window. I think center table on the 4 ball would be ideal, and that seems to be the key shot of the rack. That's good. Maybe she could bump the 7 out of the way here to tidy up her room a little bit. Not speeding up, still staying very composed, showing a lot of professionalism.
Talking earlier about her performance in the Premier League, we also saw her in the World Cup last year, playing for South Korea along with Kang Lee, and they were a bit unfortunate with the draw. Were pitted against the USA pairing of Van Bonen and Woodward, the number 2 seeds in the first round, and ended up losing by 7 racks to 1. I do remember that match though, and I would say, although the Americans were clearly the better side, it wasn't quite the no contest that 7-1 might make it sound like.
Okay, she had too much angle on the 4 ball. That's why she has to play short side position for the 5. There's nothing wrong with that. Just one nice positional shot now could open up this rack. Looks like she can go in and out 2 rails, in and out of the corner, come through the gap of 7 and 8 with some low outside spin. Just played it perfectly. And these two are pretty good friends as well. I see them hanging around the venue together. They might have traveled from Asia together, I don't know, but maybe Ko's been coaching her as well.
Well, I'd say she's someone who's very easy to be good friends with because she's extremely polite and friendly anytime you speak to her. And it looks as though she's going to win this rack. So she's made a couple of mistakes, passed up a couple of opportunities, but bottom line is, in a moment, she's almost certainly going to be back to only 1 behind. And that is very welcome after losing 3 racks in a row. So Soa closes to 3-2 down. So I was mentioning the big age gap between these two. Well, there's an even bigger gulf in this round on table 5. Jeremy Jones, who turned 53 last week, is playing Carl Naderberg, who's only 18. And Jones won all of the first 3 racks. Naderberg has got 1 back. So Jeremy Jones leading 3-1. That would be a great result for JJ if he was to pull it off, but still some way to go. And Carl Boyes, another member of our commentary team, who's also playing in the tournament, also in action at the moment in this round, and also leading 3-1 against Lin Sung Han.
Yay, go on the commentary team.
Well, I was going to say we might need your services a lot more during the week if this continues, but of course you're through to winners qualification tomorrow anyway. Okay, so Soa put together a good 5th rack. She's back to 1 behind, and she's breaking now, looking to draw level.
Listen, Jeremy, although he hasn't been competing for the last few years, he's an abundance of knowledge, and he's a former US Open champion. I wouldn't be surprised if he beat any of the top guys of today's game.
I went out to watch some of his match yesterday against Babken Melkonyan, and he certainly has not lost any of his competitive fire. He was so determined throughout the match, came up just short in that one, then had a walkover on the loser's side later in the day. So that's why he's in losers round 2 and going nicely at the moment. We'll keep you across the developments in those.
Okay, so an offensive shot here could be the 2 onto the 8 combination. I think she has to go for it. Yeah, the problem will be here trying to control the 2 ball. Is she looking at a 3 ball plant onto the 9? The 9 doesn't look set.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking she was perhaps lining up, but yeah, this is far from guaranteed if she is going for it.
Maybe she's going for that and the carom on the 8 ball. I think she's going straight for the 2 and to carom the 8 as well. Nice attempt.
Quickly round to have a look at what she's left. So is this 2 on?
No, it's not on at all. No, he's going to have to kick this using the rail.
Yeah, she looked a bit concerned there, but oh, you can see there very clearly.
I'm not sure if he can see enough to make it, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can see from there that he doesn't.
He's yeah, going to have to elevate the cue and play a masse. Yeah, I like the kick shot better. Is it going to be coming 2 rails in and out of the corner here? Yeah, I like that shot. Yeah. Chance for Seo Seoa to play a good safety here. She's looking at the cue ball behind the 9 there. She wants to try and get a good object ball as well. So if she doesn't get the cue ball behind the 9, she'll have an insurance policy. Slightly overcooked it, but like I said, she got a safe 2 ball, and that was her insurance. Now, are we going to see Ko go for the bank on the 8? He is a very attacking player. You don't get to 2 World Championship finals without attacking the game. Bit surprising that, because he's going to leave this 2 ball on. There's a saying, why not go down firing? I think he should have gone for the 8 ball there. And this is the great chance to level up the match. Yeah, didn't deliver the cue as smoothly as she would have liked. Was a little bit jerky there. You really have to deliver the cue well on this equipment. If you overhit the ball, it's just not going to accept the ball. So cue delivery is very, very important. We saw Kachi miss a 9-ball yesterday, and it was quite close in the match. And a straight in 9, he hit it a little bit too hard, and it just wobbled. Straight in 9-ball it was.
And that was match ball as well.
That was match ball as well, yeah.
Yeah, that was to win 9-7, and he ended up getting through, but only in a deciding rack.
Okay, this will be a pretty shot if she takes it on. 2-ball into the corner pocket, and then a delayed draw. Okay. I would have drawn on the other side of the side pocket. She's going to draw with some left-hand outside spin. No, she's not. She's playing something else. What's she playing? Is she playing a bank on the 8, or is she playing a safety? Okay, she went this way. And it's probably a better shot than mine, because drawing the ball, it's a lot harder than playing with topspin. So nicely thought out, that one. I actually learned something there.
Maybe making a bit of a comeback now, Imran, but for most of the last 10, 15, 20 years, it's felt as though there haven't been that many tournament playing opportunities for the ladies players. And we can remember a time, you certainly will be able to remember it anyway, back around the early part of the century, where there was a really lucrative circuit of televised events based in the US for the top female players.
Yeah, it was the ESPN tour, I think, and the equivalent on the men's side was the Camel Tour in that era, and I used to play on the Camel Tour, and there was a very good foundation of lady players building up in America, and like you say, it kind of fizzled out after that, and it'd be good to see some more ladies events on the calendar.
And those tournaments we're talking about, they were shown on television over this side of the Atlantic as well. I remember often watching programs showing those matches.
Yeah, the likes of Alison Fisher and Karen Kaur, yeah.
Oh, now this looks very good.
That's a very good shot, very good speed control.
So she's passed up some opportunities in the early stages of this match, but she's taking this one very impressively so far.
She's got the game to actually beat any player on the World 9-Ball Tour circuit in a race to 9, you know. She can beat Cheng, she could beat Albin, she could beat Kachi in a race to 9. If she plays her A game and she gets a little bit of luck, she can beat anyone in a race to 9. Race to 100 might get a little bit embarrassing for her, but race to 9, yeah, you might have a good chance, Mike.
Let's not lose the run of ourselves entirely, Imran. Still, all the other commentators seem to be winning matches here this week. The one thing you would have to say, though, is the pace she plays and the effort that seems to go into winning every rack. Does there come a question of her being able to maintain that over the duration of a match, or does she wear herself out, or is it just something that's her natural style of play and she can adapt to it?
That's a very good question. A lot of players do adopt, you know, a slower speed and take their time on shots. And I've got to say, yes, it would affect your longevity in the tournament. And, you know, you can obviously drain yourself out. So, yeah, the likes of Joshua Filler, where he just, you know, breezes around the table with no effort. And he can string a lot of matches together like that.
Well, it is a very deliberate style, but it's working nicely at the moment. She's put together a very good 6th rack here. And having been a couple of racks behind, she's now level. It's 3-all. Now, Masato Yoshioka has been keeping Billy Thorpe on the hill for some time now. So long, in fact, that he's joined him there.
Oh,
Yoshioka
wow.
has charged right back in that match, and it's now 8-all. So 1 rack to decide who plays Simon Kural of Poland in the next round. Tyler Steyer is on the hill at 8-3 against the British player Marcel Price. Aloysius Yap going along very nicely, former US Open runner-up, 6-1 up on Romania's Christian Surdea. Hong Nam Pham, rapidly improving Vietnamese player, just ahead of Yanni Uski at 7-6. All of these are on the winner's side. Also in that round, Daniel Massiol has now got to the hill at 8-7. Has turned it round against the Canadian John Morra. Dimitris Lukatos in the early stages as a 2-1 lead over Jack Whelan. Back to this one, it's 3-all.
Nice break off. Is she going to get a shot on the 2? Looks like it. Just maybe. Nice break.
Just going to update you on our fellow commentators who are out there. Jeremy Jones was 3-0 up on Karl Naderberg, but the young Estonian has won 3 in a row, so they're now level. Carl Boyes, though, has extended his advantage. He's won rack 5 and is now 4-1 up on Lin Sung Han.
A little bit too thin. Bank shot here for Kuo. I keep saying Kuo, but I'm just going to say Ko. I think it is pronounced Ko, right? It says
I think it's sort of
K-U-O.
halfway between the two, kind of.
Okay.
Kuo.
Kuo, okay.
I always think, though, you can try too hard to get other languages absolutely spot on,
Yeah.
because the native speakers are always going to say it slightly differently to you anyway. So,
A little bit of inside spin on this bank, I think, to check it up. Yeah, swishes it. Does have the option to play a 4-9. But no, it's not the shot. Needs an intricate positional shot here. Needs to be tidy with his cue ball here for the 4 in the side. Yeah, that'll do. I don't see him rolling this in. He'll probably go to the end rail and come back to have a freer stroke. I could be wrong. I would go up and down anyway. Yeah, in and out of bulk, as we say in snooker. Nice angle on this 5 ball to get nicely on the 6, which was probably the problem ball. And he even sat in her chair there. Soa looks almost robot-esque. Showing no emotion, keeping her cool. And that's a big part of the game, I must say. Controlling yourself. There's a saying, self-control on a pool table is 10 times more important than cue ball control. Now, digest that one, but it's true.
Yeah, it's one of those things to make you think a bit, isn't it?
Yep.
What to say with Kopo Cheng? Doesn't look like there's been a massive decline over the years. I mean, he can clearly still play pretty well.
Left a little bit of a tricky 8-ball. Would have liked to be straighter on this. Might have to go around 2 or 3 rails now. Or draw it. Personal preference. Should not be a problem though. Yeah, it was, you see, these tight pockets, these middles can catch you out. You've got to be cute with your cue ball.
And what a chance now for Seo Seoa to take the lead for the first time since she was 1-0 up.
See, that 8-ball on any club table would have been a given, but these are very, very tight. Yeah, this is going to be perfect for the side pocket.
So won the opening rack, then lost all of the next 3.
Is she going in the corner?
She is.
Wow.
And it's wriggled in, so now she's put together a 3-rack run of her own, and Seo Seoa leads 4-3, halfway to victory in this race to 8. Tyler Steyer, in the last few moments, has completed victory over Marcel Price by 9 racks to 3. So he'll now play last year's world semi-finalist Woo Kun Lin for a place in the single elimination stage. No result yet between Billy Thorpe and Masato Yoshioka. Yoshioka having battled back there to force a hill-hill finish. Lucius Yap has won another rack, so 7-1 up now against Christian Serdea. Kwong Nam Pham is a 7-6 lead over Yanni Uski. Daniel Maciol still on the hill, and just as I say that, he's off the hill and into the next round. He's beaten the Canadian player John Morra by 9 racks to 7. 2-all early on between Dimitris Lukatos and Jack Whelan. So not much left to be completed on the winner's side. In today's action, all of the focus gradually shifting to the loser's side, and that's where we are.
Good break by Soa. Has she got a shot on the 2? It is close. Kuo's got to be careful in this match. It's a race to 8, and she can win. He's got to cut out his unforced errors. Hasn't made too many of them. Maybe the 8-ball in the last rack was a big one.
That was unexpected, really. And as I was saying, he seemed to be getting into his flow. When he's playing well and gets a bit of rhythm going, he still looks very competent. Okay, so this is going to be the chance for Soa to start putting a bit of distance between them.
Yeah, you say that, but having some rhythm sometimes can be a trap. You think, oh, I'm playing well, I'll speed up my pace, and then all of a sudden you miss a gimme over the hole. They can be a trap sometimes.
So on the 3 now, is that set up for a 4-9 combo?
Yeah,
follow?
she's looking to pot the 3 in the corner, come down 2 rails and play the 4-9 combination. Yeah, thank you very much. She wants to be right behind this combo though, pretty straight. Any kind of angle would be tough because there is some distance between the 4-ball and the 9-ball. She has to make it. Overdone it a bit. Yeah, I think she'll still go for it and try and get a good cue ball up table.
So this for a quick kill in this rack, and it would be her 4th in a row.
It's not a given. Just got to hit it well.
And she has. So Seo Seoa is multiple racks clear for the first time in the match. She was 3-1 down. She's now leading 5-3 as we look at this combo again, Imran.
Yeah, it was very nicely executed. Right in the center of the pocket.
I think that overhead angle there really underlined what you were saying, that really she would have wanted to be right behind it. You could see it was made that bit more difficult, but nicely done. Soa leads 5-3. Carl Nadeberg has now won 4 in a row against Jeremy Jones to lead 4-3 also in this round. Carl Boys, though, faring a bit better than Jones. British player 5-2 up on Lin Sung Han. What do you think, Imran, if Carl decided, right, I'm going to go back and play full-time in all these events? How do you think he'd do? Well, he has been one of the top players in the past.
Definitely. And I think he could just, without any practice, he's such a natural talent at a lot of sports, not just pool. He was knocking in 180s for fun in the dartboard at Glasgow. You know, anything that's got to do with hand-eye coordination, Carl is very good. He's blessed in that sense. But apart from that, he has a winning mentality, which goes a long way. Obviously, he's lifted a lot of trophies back in the day. He's played in a few Moscone Cups on the biggest stage. So he's not going to be fazed by it all. If he practiced and, you know, gave it some commitment, yes, he could be one of the top players in the world again.
Could he be winning these tournaments?
Yes, I don't see why not. Yes.
I would agree with you entirely.
No, he could, because he's got that winning mentality. He's got the game to do it. It just might be a bit rusty, but a little bit of effort and practice, he could go on to be world champion. No danger. Then it'll be me replacing Carl's job, and Carl will be a full-time player. I'll be in the comms with you.
Hey, listen, you're too good a player still to be going down that road just yet.
She's going airborne. Fancy her to get close. The thing is, this 2-ball could go anywhere if she misses it as well. I fancy her to get close, if not make it. Oh, it was very close. A couple of inches out. Good effort.
Yeah, but as you said, it could go anywhere if she missed it, and where it has gone gives Kwo Cheng a chance to get things going again in this match. He's lost 4 racks in a row now. He's looking in control early on. Seo Seoa was the one making the mistakes and passing up the chances, and he was mopping up. So he needs to make something happen here.
Ko desperately needs this rack. It is doable. It looks like there's a 7-8 combination on. Could be a 7-9 combo on. Getting on the 6 nicely is the key shot for me in this rack. He's going to go forward with some inside spin, maybe 11 o'clock on the cue ball. Got to get the speed right. Oh, he played it with the outside spin. Okay. Had more of an angle than I thought. Does he play short side or come through the gap? 6 and 7. Could even come around the back of it. Okay, he played through the gap between the 6 and 7. Nicely done. Probably just kill his cue ball right there and play a 7-8 combination. It looks like he can hold it. Yep. Using some inside spin here. It's quite a delicate shot to kill the cue ball. He's played it nicely. Now, to me, he's got a combination shot here on the 8. It looks like to me, if he does make the 8 ball, the 9's going to go close to the middle pocket as well. Let's see, he could make the 8 and 9 in one shot here. If he hits it hard. It was tracking that way, yeah.
It certainly was, but in the end, he's made neither. And what an opportunity now for Seo Seoa. She's going to be a big favourite to win the match if she can pot these 3 balls, get it to 6-3, having been 3-1 down. What an opening this is for her.
Yeah, he definitely made a hash of that. And he's usually quite adept to those combination shots.
Really no reason not to complete this little run out.
Used a little bit of inside spin there to get nice position. I told you, she's dangerous.
Well, we've seen in the past, she has no trouble getting over the line against some very big names. Yes, they were shorter matches, those Premier League wins, but no matter how short the match is, you've still got to overcome the hurdle of pulling off an upset and finishing the job. And against someone of vast experience, she's closing in on doing just that. Seo Seoa has won 5 racks in a row now. That one was unexpected. Cheng gave her a chance late in the rack. She now leads 6-3 and just needs a couple more. You know, so often at these tournaments, as you know only too well, Imran, you're watching the scores from the other tables on matches that you can't actually see. And then you see one that goes hill-hill, and then it seems to take all eternity for the score to change again, and you just know it's evolved into an epic deciding rack. And that is what's clearly going on table 6, because it was some time ago now that Masato Yoshioka completed his long journey back to all square at 8 all. Yoshioka in a hill-hill finish against Billy Thorpe, and they're still playing in that one. We'll give you a result just as soon as we have it. Lucius Yap doesn't look like he's heading for anything similar, because he's totally in control against the Romanian player Christian Surdea. Yap is now leading 7-1. These are all on the winner's side. 7-all between Yaniuski and Pong Nam Pam.
Impressive stuff by Soa Seoa so far in this match. Can she get over the line? A dry break doesn't help her matters. Let's see if Ko can put her in a lock-up snooker here. Safety, he needs one. Ball in hand would go a long way in this rack.
You may have heard a ripple of applause coming from the other side of the hall a few moments ago. I think that was for Masato Yoshioka, because he's completed the turnaround and has beaten Billy Thorpe by 9 racks to 8. So Thorpe goes to the loser's side. Yoshioka will play Simon Corral.
Wow, and he was way up, 8-2 or 8-3?
Can't remember exactly how big the lead got, but let's say it's certainly a significant turnaround. And the significance of that, you know, the top 100 WNT pros in the rankings at the end of this week will qualify automatically for the World Championship in Saudi Arabia next month. And I understand, although there are 28 wildcards and invitations, most of those have now been handed out. So you've basically got to get in off your ranking. There is a bit of leeway. You have to expect 1 or 2 players in the 100 won't take up their places. So maybe it'll go down as far as maybe 102, 103, something like that. But Yoshioka is right on the bubble in that conversation because he's currently at number 102. So every win's so important. And you know who's 1 place behind him at 103rd? Cheng.
Oh, wow. Big matches for both then.
Well, that's it. They're all playing to progress in the UK Open, but the World Championship narrative is so important throughout this week as well, and we'll stay across it. Meanwhile, back here, Cheng has ball in hand. You said, Imran, it could be very important in this rack. Let's see how important it turns out to be now that he's got it.
Yeah, mind you, it's not an easy table. 2-ball doesn't have an obvious pocket. We'll probably have to play a 2-6 combination. And there's a little cluster here as well, the 5 and the 9. I'm not sure if the 5 is potable into the corner. It's quite tight. Okay, that's not very good. Has got an awkward angle now, and yeah, it's a tough pot as well. Maybe the natural tangent line is going towards the side pocket. Maybe not, just misses it, but could have been easier. Played it nicely. Played it nicely around the rails. Yeah, that 5-ball, well, judging from the position he's played on the 4, the 5 does pass.
Came to the table knowing he'd reached the stage in the match where he couldn't really afford to pass up any more chances. His opponent is 1 rack away from the hill. He looks a big favourite now to stop the rot, having lost all of the last 5 racks. 3 balls away from getting back to just a couple behind.
Yeah, you can see that steely look in his eyes now. He didn't have that before, and a lot of the top players are the same. They get these steely eyes when they need full concentration, and hopefully he makes a bit of a comeback.
Well, you see that with Shane Van Boning when the pressure is at its most intense in a match. Jeremy actually refers to that as his crazy eyes.
Okay.
But JJ's good friends with Shane, so it's okay for him to say something like that. Cheng has taken that opportunity. Nice run out that. So having lost 5 in a row, he has won that one, which he really needed to. So Soa still in the lead, though. It's now 6-4.
Yeah,
Michael Feliciano of the Philippines in this round. Player who got to 2 ranking event finals last year. He's advanced with an 8-2 win over his compatriot Mark Capito. That's in losers round 2, which is what we're watching here. Tom Staveley is leading the All-British clash with Stephen Ellis by 3 racks to 2. The significance of that match is that the winner of it will play the winner of this one in the next round. Carl Boys is on the hill. He's leading Lin Sung Han 7-2, and it looks like Jeremy Jones is regaining the initiative against Carl Nadeberg. Jones leads by 5 racks to 4. And just to remind you, if Jeremy Jones and Carl Boyce both win their matches tomorrow, they're going to play each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's your money on there?
Oh. It's a nasty question to ask.
It is very nasty. Nice break. No cigar on the 3-ball, though. Yeah, Cuba was kissed down. He might have had a shot if he didn't catch the 8-ball. It was a very nice break. Made 2 balls. This is another one of those thin ones. Maybe he's looking to come 2 or 3 rounds behind the 8. Yep. And the line was good, the speed just off, but has contained the situation, which was his primary goal. There is a combination on offer, 3-7. She's going to have to make it, and it's not easy. There is a safety on offer as well. 3-ball back down table, straight down the middle of the table. Got to be careful not to make the 5 if you play that shot. She has got options. Yeah, contains the situation. Now the 3 doesn't have a pocket, so we'll probably see Ko separate the balls again. Cue ball back down this end of the table, or could do vice versa, send the 3-ball down here. Yeah, get some separation. It looks like a pretty good cue ball. Nice speed. Looks like she can separate the balls. The cue ball behind the 8 and the 3-ball behind the pink. Oh, she went for it. Wow, and what an attacking shot. Nice effort there.
Oh yeah, given the situation we're in the match and how close she is to pulling off a notable win. That's one of the shots of the match so far.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite thin and a lot of distance. She's going to have to pull off another one.
Yeah, and of course, playing it the way she did, if she had missed that shot, there was a good chance she was going to leave it. But this would be a remarkable shot if she could get from 4 to 5.
Yeah, I think she just needs to make the ball. Position is quite natural. And she was a little bit far away on that one. I thought she'd get closer than that.
As you say, the angle was there for the position, but just the fact that the pot was testing as well, you added it all up, it was a bit of a challenge for her, and she's come up short. Starting to feel like a really significant rack, this. If Ko wins it, he's back to only 1 behind. If he loses it, he's got to win 4 in a row.
Very nice, nice shot. Now she's in a predicament here. She's in a spot of bother. The only thing she can do is pop this ball and try and play a safety on the 5. There's no way she can get position from the 4 to the 5. I can't see a safety. Oh well, unless she goes rail first, catches the 4 like half ball, spins around 2 rails. That's probably what I would play. Yeah, and it was so difficult that she's actually miscued and not fouled, but she's actually left the ball safe.
Yeah, a bit of fortune there. That could have turned out a great deal worse.
Monster fortune that was, yeah, in this part of the match. He's going for a bank. I think he has to attack now, Ko. Yeah, that looks good. What's the cue ball going to do? No good.
Yeah, if he'd caught the round 7 a little thinner, might have flicked off it in the other direction and been on the 5, but
snookered himself.
Yeah.
But saying that, he can snooker her back quite easily here. And if I had to bet, I'd say he's going to snooker her behind the 7. 2 rails, slight clip on the 5 ball, and the cue ball goes. Okay, he played it harder and he played it perfectly. I would have probably played that shot a bit slower, but he played that absolutely on the nose.
The fact that you have the rule in 9-ball about having to make contact with a rail, it makes an enormous difference to the difficulty of escaping from a situation like this.
Yes, it does. In comparison with other cue sports like English pool or snooker, where you can just roll up to the ball and don't have to think about a rail afterwards. Yeah, it's much more difficult in 9-ball pool, or American pool, shall I say. She's got lucky there by awkward bridging again for Ko. It's not having much luck in this rack. If the 7 wasn't there, he probably pots the 5. Now it's probably made 10 times more difficult. Elevating the cue, any little bit of unwanted side, you can miss this ball. He's experienced enough to play this with no English though. Oh, totally mishit it.
Okay, so work to do, but it's definitely an opening for Seo Seoa. As we've said, the difference between winning and losing this rack, absolutely enormous. If she can run this out here, she's on the hill. Cheng would then need to win 4 in a row, and it doesn't really feel like that's all that likely the way the match is proceeding. So let's see how she fares with this.
Nicely struck. Decent position on the 6. Not great. Would have liked to be a little bit straighter so she can guarantee the pot, because these are very tight pockets. Got to hit this well. Don't hit it into the knuckle of the side pocket, which is commonly done in this type of shot. Got to hit it with confidence towards the outside jaw, and she did. Swished it. Lovely shot. Cue ball central table now will give her a nice angle to get back down for the 9. I've been impressed with Soa Seoa in this match. She's stuck to her guns, stuck to her pre-shot routine, not looked flustered at all. Handled the situation very, very well.
Yeah, it's not that she's been dominant, I don't think that's quite the word, but what she has been is very efficient at getting the job done in these racks. She was 3-1 down, she'd lost 3 in a row at that stage. She was making a couple of unforced errors, but since then, it's been a very different story, and she's won 6 of the last 7 racks. And as a result of that, she is first to the hill at 7-4. Cheng needs to win all of the last 4, and really the way this match is proceeding, you would have to say that's looking for a minor miracle. So Soa on the hill at 7-4. Aloysius Yap is through to winners qualification. Went in as a warm favourite against Christian Serdea and won the match very comfortably by 9 racks to 1. Also in that round, Phuong Nam Pham has just closed out a 9-7 win over Yanni Uski. He had some good results on the World 9-Ball Tour in 2023. He's just added another one there. So there's only one more match left to play in that round. Indeed, it's the only match left on the winner's side today. Dimitris Loukatos of Greece leads it at the moment, but there's some way to go against Jack Whelan. Loukatos leading there by 4 racks to 3. So returning to the loser's side, Seo Seoa is breaking on the hill.
Looks dry and the cue ball nearly scratched. No shot on the 1 for Ko. Ko's played pretty decent in this match, just not perfect. Made 2 or 3 errors, which is understandable in a race to 8 or 9 in a short race. Any top pro is allowed to make 2 or 3 mistakes in a set. But Soa Seoa has been clearing up the pieces very nicely.
That's it, yeah. It's been a case of just being that bit more efficient on this run that she's on. Lin Sung Han is still holding on against Carl Boys in this round. Boys remains on the hill at 7-4 and 5-all between Jeremy Jones and Carl Naderberg.
She's passed this back to Ko, and this is not an easy shot. 1 ball's on the rail, cue ball's on the rail, maximum distance. I think he's got to go for it. There's no safety shot there anyway. He has to go for it. Just 100% concentration into making the ball. Don't worry about the cue ball. Yep. Okay, it's his turn to get a little bit of luck. I do see a good safety presenting itself to Soa Seoa. 2 rails behind the 8 ball. Even 3 rails behind the 8 ball. And you would put the 1 on the long rail up behind the pink 4. So even if it does leak out, it'll be tough to get from the 1 to the 2. But let's see what she does. Yeah, she's played exactly my shot, and she's played it to perfection. Wow, nice execution there. Great speed control, found the line nicely. Very adept with the jump cue, Cheng. Didn't go for the make, played for a safety, and it's a good safety. Got a nice cue ball there, that was his priority. I think she's looking to attack. Getting from the 2 to the 3 is probably the key shot of the rack if she makes this 1. She did play it. She didn't intend to make it off the 8, but she has done, and in effect has snookered herself on the 2 ball.
Just to let you know of another winner in this round, and it's a well-known name, Bernie Regalario, highly rated young player from the Philippines, has beaten Wen Man Duc of Vietnam 8-1, so Regalario now 2 wins away from single elimination.
She went for that one ball, but I didn't really see much value in it. I might have played safe there. She's faced with a tough kick shot now. Too hard. Yeah, I don't think she had a good line on the cue ball there, and the speed was off as well. Maybe played it with too much right-hand spin. She doesn't want to let Ko grow in confidence here, because he only needs another 4 racks to win the match. And if Ko gets on the 3 ball, I think he should be plain sailing from there. Ooh, didn't put a nice stroke on that one. That was a little bit jabby, didn't follow through. Yeah, there was 0 follow through on that shot. Probably going to have to play safe now. 3 ball in behind the 6 and 8, maybe, which is a nice bit of cover there. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done. And this is you need an electronic route finder for this one. Get your sat navs or your GPSs out, because I don't see an immediate route. This is a very difficult safety to get out of. If she gets it, hats off to her, but I think it's like a 1 in 500 shot. She's got more chance this way, yeah, but still, it's very small window. No, it's virtually impossible to get out of that snooker. And that's where we saw the expertise of Ko in his safety game. Was a remarkable safety, actually unescapable. It's not often we have unescapable safeties on a pool table, but we just witnessed one there. Does he develop these balls at the same time, because they are clustered up? Oh, he's playing another safety. He's trying to strangle her, squeeze her by the neck. Another very tough to hit shot. Why are you being so cruel, Koopo Cheng? It's a lady.
Well, this is what you got to do when your back is to the wall and your opponent's on the hill. Got to play to your strengths.
A lot of left-hand spin, trying to hit the 3 ball. And it's a good effort, great shot, very nice shot.
Yeah, it was a good effort. It was so hard not to leave the 3 on.
Ko's got problems here. 4 and 9, 5 and 9, and the 6 and 8 are tied up. But I think he's going to play another safety here and free up the 5. No, okay. Oh, he's going to try and develop the 5 now with the 4. Crash into them, see what happens. Well, not crash, he's going to play it with some finesse. If he can get his cue ball somewhere where the magic rack is there on the left-hand side of the table and then go into the 9, that would be the perfect shot. He's going to have to put a nice stroke on this ball, though. I would advise him to close his bridge, but he's opened it. Yeah, unforced error again. It's like those 3 or 4 unforced errors in this match, which is let Soa Seoa come back into it.
Yeah, we weren't really seeing them early on, but they've crept in as the contest has gone on, as you say, and that's why Soa Seoa finds herself in the position she's in. But as I say, she's been very efficient at capitalising on the mistakes.
A lot of mileage left in this rack yet. There is 2 problems on the table. Don't often see that on a 9-ball pool table. 2 or 3 problems in a rack. See it more in a 10-ball rack. And this looks good. Does she open up the 5? Yes, she does. And she's opened up the gate now for Cheng. Still has a little problem with the 6-8, but he can get these first 2 balls and play maybe a safety, or he's got options. Yeah, there is a combination shot on as well on the 6-8. The 6 ball will be tracking up table, so he's got to keep that in mind. Is he coming around to size up the combination? I would have thought so, yeah. Or a snooker, or even a carom, 6-8. Depends, it's personal preference really. Not happy with that shot. He wanted to go further, or he's come too far. Now the combination is a little bit tougher than it should have been, and the 6 ball will be tracking towards the top end of the table. Okay, thin snick behind the 8, cue ball behind the 7. Is that what he's doing? Yep, cue ball behind the 7, and he's played it very nicely. Good shot. Chang is experienced there, Mike.
Certainly been a long rack, hasn't it? Cheng fighting to the bitter end, battling to stay in this UK Open. Remember, this is on the loser side, so whoever is defeated will be out of the tournament. Both already lost 1 match. Soa Seoa was against Ko Ping Han in her first match, and for Cheng, it was against Robbie Capito in his second.
This looks, ooh, nearly hit it. Unlucky. Good try.
And after what was, for most of the way, a fairly complicated and awkward rack, Cheng now, with ball in hand, has a clear chance to find a path to the line and get back 7-5 down. So looks like job done now. Well, we knew he was going to have to win all of the last 4 racks if he was to beat Soa Seoa and stay in 2024 UK Open here in Telford. And after a very long 12th, he's completed a quarter of that task. Suddenly looks like a different match, 7-5, it's a slender lead. Still a lot of work for Cheng to do. Needs to win another 3. Now also in this round, Carl Naderberg, who wasn't even born when Jeremy Jones won the US Open, is on the brink of knocking him out here. Naderberg on the hill at 7-5. And Lin Sung Han is holding on well against Carl Boyce. British player still on the hill, also 7-5 in that one. It's 4-4 between Stephen Ellis and Tom Staveley. Winner of that will play the winner of the match that we're watching here. And there is still just the one match going on the winner's side today. And that involves Dimitris Loukatos of Greece, who was a quarter-finalist in this UK Open last year. He's up against British player Jack Whelan. And Loukatos just has his nose in front there at 4-3.
Nice break from Ko. He hasn't had much luck on the break, but this has worked out very nice. Does have a shot on the 2-ball. I believe he can just roll this 2 in and have shape on the 3. It's not an easy rack. Has to get from the 4 to the 5. Has to get from the 6 to the 8. First things first, make this 2-ball. No. Missed that by quite some distance and gives Soa Seoa a great chance to play a very good safety. She wants to get tight behind another ball here, tight behind this 5-ball. And she wants to limit his escaping routes. Didn't get it tight, but it'll do. See, if it was touching the 5-ball, he wouldn't have this rail to escape from. I believe he's going to hit this quite hard to get some separation if he misses it. It'll be above and medium speed. Yep, quite hard. A nice double kiss there to stop the cue ball and have a pretty good leave. You would think that Ko's going to be in trouble now, though, with those wall of balls there. Can put the cue ball right behind the pink ball, and you've got a wall, a sea of balls to snooker Ko by. Yeah, cue ball right up behind the pink. You've got 3 balls there as blockers. No, that's not the greatest attempt there by Soa Seoa. She didn't execute that well, and she knows it. She could have done better because she had a massive margin there to get the 2-ball behind those 3 balls. It's going for the bank. Oh, cleverly played though, because it was a 2-way shot. If he misses the bank, he's snookered her.
And if she can jump her way out of this, pop the 2, get on the 3, it's a chance to get this finished.
I think this jump shot is a given here. To maintain position on the 3 is
that's the thing, yeah.
That's the thing, yeah.
So, really, if she can get on the 3, it's a chance to win the match.
Stop shot would be nice, be okay. Wants to limit travel of the cue ball here. Nice, yep, that would do. 3-ball in the side. And now
we're keeping an eye. Sorry, Imran.
Yeah,
just to say, we were keeping an eye on that Billy Thorpe match. So just to update you now that he's on the loser side, he will actually be next on this table against Roland Garcia. So that's a great match to have on the loser side.
Nice matchup, yes. Yeah, the key here would be getting from the 4 to the 5, because the 5 only goes in the side pocket past the 6. Got to stay down on these. Played it nicely. Can she get position for the 5 in the side? Then you would have thought she would run the rack. Pressure can do funny things sometimes. Bottom right on the cue ball there. Does she get enough English? That looks pretty good because she can nudge into the 6 and promote it towards the pocket.
And you would have to say, Imran, given the significance of the fact she's playing a very experienced player and is trying to close it out, if she does do this, this will be an impressive run out with which to finish the job.
Definitely. Yeah, nudges it that slightest bit. Now, does the 8 go past the 9 into the bottom right, which it doesn't? She might have to play the 8 in the side, coming 2 or 3 rails with bottom right-hand spin. This is not an easy shot. Probably 5 o'clock on the cue ball here. Don't want to decelerate. She didn't put a good stroke on that. Was miles away from the pot and has got lucky. Cheng won't be too happy.
Well, when you're trying to close out what will be a big win in her career, you want things to be straightforward. That certainly wasn't the opportunity she had when she came to the table, but you felt like she'd perhaps done the hardest part of it, and so that'll be very disappointing to fall there.
I think that was match ball. She should have just taken a little bit more time, maybe go back to her seat, wipe her cue down, recompose herself. I think that was the order of the day. Doesn't want to scratch in the side because it is scratchable. Oh, hit it well. It's gonna get pretty safe-ish, or a snooker at least. No, she can see an edge, but can't see her going for a pot here. That was quite fortunate where it landed, but I've got to say Soa's probably had the best of the rolls so far in this match. He does deserve 1 or 2 more to even things up. Oh wow, she went for it.
Oh,
Get the 9 ball. Oh, close.
We got a bit overexcited there. And the upshot of it all is that Cheng now has a very real chance to get back to only 1 behind.
I'm not sure if their shot selection was great there. She did have safety options. She did have a bank on as well. It was a very thin cut. I mean, too thin for my liking. Now this is one little shot like that can turn a match completely, as we all know.
When we said Cheng had to win all of the last 4 racks in a couple of balls' time, he could be halfway there, and of course he'll be breaking in the next. Not that it's been the sort of match where the break has really had a huge impact on how it's gone. But the key thing is he'll be only 1 behind. Oh, but he's got to pot the 8 and the 9 first, and having missed the 8, he's left it. Now this isn't straightforward for Seo Seoa, but it is a chance to pot these 2 balls and get this done.
Now that was an unbelievable miss. Straight 8 ball in the side pocket. I'm lost for words, really.
Well, that'll never happen to you, Imran.
I don't know what that was. Lack of concentration. It can't be pressure, because there's no pressure on that shot. Just gotta pot the ball straight in. Is she? Looks like she's playing into the opposite corner pocket. Oh no, it was deceiving. Yeah, nicely done. Gets the job done. Yeah,
it looks like it's all over now. In fact, she's not even going to pot the 9 because Cheng has come forward graciously to concede. He was leading 3-1 in this match, but after that, Seo Seoa just kept going in her efficient way. She looks absolutely delighted with that. She has gone through to the next round. Cheng is out of the UK Open. So 8-5 it finishes to Seo Seoa. And that was also the score in another clash of the generations. Karl Naderberg, an 8-5 winner over Jeremy Jones. So Jones's 2-week return to competition at the Scottish Open and then here is now at an end. And Lin Sung Han is still battling away. Only 7-6 behind now against Carl Boyce. So the British player still looking for 1 more to stay in the UK Open. So Seo Seoa was only 2 years old when Po Cheng got to the first of his 2 World Championship finals, but she's knocked him out of the UK Open with that 8-5 win.